Fear is something that is common to all of us. Everybody watching today knows what it's like to experience fear. Fear is something that is part and parcel of being a human being in this world. The first effect of the fall of Adam and Eve in the garden was the experience of fear. They went and hid themselves from the presence of the Lord, and whenever God came to them walking in the garden and said to Adam, "Where art thou?" Adam confessed that he had hid himself because he was afraid. Sometimes a little bit of fear is maybe a good thing. If I jump into the car and get onto the roads, you're conscious that the roads are dangerous and can be dangerous, and it's healthy to have just a little bit of fear so that you drive carefully, vigilantly, put on your seatbelt, use your mirrors, stay within the speed limits, keep an eye on the other traffic. So fear can have its benefits, but sometimes fear can be inordinate, and we can be so afraid that we cannot function properly. Sometimes fear can be very legitimate. We can be afraid for legitimate reasons. Maybe we're going for an operation, or a loved one is going for an operation. Maybe there are huge financial concerns within a home or a family or a business. Maybe a son or a daughter or a family member is in trouble. We look sometimes at the world around us, the news headlines, and we can be afraid of what the future holds. And especially if you're not a Christian, there are many reasons why you might be fearful and afraid. And then sometimes fear can be superficial. We can be afraid of things that we maybe don't need to be afraid of at all. People have all sorts of phobias nowadays. Some are afraid of the dark. Some people are afraid of small spaces. Some people are afraid of spiders. And if you're like me, you're maybe a little bit timorous if you're going to the dentist. And that's just where I'm going this morning. So I thought I'd cut this little devotional now, because if to get I'm not going to tell you how many fillings, get a little bit of work done, my mouth's going to be frozen after. And I have to confess, I'm a little bit anxious about it all, although the dentist is very, very good. Going onto a plane as well can make people afraid. And I have to confess, with the passing of years, I'm not just as brave as I used to be. You've got a wife, you've got a family now, and you're just a little bit afraid sometimes of the unknown. Fear is a very real thing. Somebody once came to see Spurgeon, the great preacher, and this person struggled with anxiety. And he came to see Spurgeon and says, "Mr. Spurgeon, I have got a wonderful verse that I have discovered. It's in the book of Psalms, Psalm 56, and it's verse number 3. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee." And that is a wonderful verse. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. And that is a wonderful verse. Of course it is. But Mr. Spurgeon was a very wise man. And Mr. Spurgeon, while he acknowledged that was a great verse, he says, "I've got an even better verse, if there's such a thing in the Word of God." Isaiah chapter 12 and verse number 2. "Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also is become my salvation." Do you notice the difference there in the two verses? Psalm 56 and verse number 3. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. But Spurgeon's text in Isaiah chapter 12, I will trust and not be afraid. The psalmist said, what time I am afraid, I will trust. The prophet Isaiah said, I will trust and not be afraid. So rather than initiating our faith after fear kicks in, good to initiate our faith first so that our fears are subsided before they even rise up. May God encourage you today. Maybe you're afraid, you're a little bit anxious, but may God bless you. May God encourage you. May you trust in the Lord at all times and not be afraid. John chapter 14, let not your hearts be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. Friends, we'll see you next time, and hopefully we'll get on okay here at the dentist. So God bless you today wherever you are.